Hello, welcome. This is Mrs. Massey, and we are going to be talking about our sevens facts, applying that to real world experience and a real world application. So right over here, if you remember right, before we get into our problem, with our sevens facts, in order to be able to solve any problem that deals with 7 and multiplying, we have to think of it in smaller chunks. So let's go ahead and look at this equation with this story problem. And let's see how we might need to chop this problem into smaller chunks. All right, so here we go. Carla lays tile floor. If the floor is 7 squares wide and 7 squares long, how many square tiles will it take to cover the floor? So if it's 7 going up and 7 going across, we still have to think of all of this space in the middle and how many tiles Carla is going to need to fill her floor. So our equation is 7 groups of 7. So for a problem like this, what we're going to need to think of is simply, what is it that we do know? Is there a way that we could solve 7 groups of 7, but in a different way? Could we do maybe 5 groups of 7 and then chop it into a group of 5 and then maybe 2 groups of 7 over here? Could we just count 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus, I mean, we could do that 7 times, but that would kind of take a while. So let's put it into larger chunks that we know. Could we do 3 groups of 7 here, 3 groups of 7 here, and then just 1 group of 7? Ultimately, when we get to our sevens facts, we have to think of what would be easiest for you and the facts that you do know. Maybe you don't know what 7 times 7 is, but you do know what 6 times 7 is. Could you just find the answer to 6 times 7 and then add 1 more group of 7 to make 7 groups of 7? Maybe you don't know what 6 times 7 is off of your memory quite yet, but you do know what 5 times 7 is. So you could have 5 groups of 7 and then 2 more groups of 7. Really, it's ultimately whatever it is that you know best, right? So for me, I'm going to go with the easiest thing that I know. And I'm first going to think, okay, what is 5 groups of 7? If I don't know that really quickly, I could always count by 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, right? So I have 5 groups of 7 here, and that equals 35. I need 7 groups of 7, so I need to think of 2 more groups of 7. So what is 2 groups of 7? Well, it's 14, right? On a piece of scratch paper, could I take 35 plus 14 and still get the same answer of 7 times 7? Yeah. Why don't you, on your board, your marker, your pencil, your paper, right now, can you go ahead and add 35 plus 14 for me, please? I'll give you a couple of moments. So 35 plus 14 equals 49. So when we're thinking of our sevens facts, we want to think of it in smaller chunks simply based off of what works best for you. What facts do you know in your sevens? Go as high as you can. And then from there, then add in however many more groups of 7 it takes to get to what your multiplication problem is. If you have any questions, feel free to ask your teacher. Thanks for watching. Make good choices. Have a great rest of your day. Bye, guys.